The way we're programmed is we validate what we believe by doing it. If we never do it, our system is designed to then say, you don't believe it. Very important. We validate our belief. We validate what's in our mind by doing it. If we don't do it, our heart, our conscience says, well, then you don't believe it. But when we do it, it's okay, you're doing it, you clearly believe it. It then moves from the mind to the heart. Okay? Because of obedience. This goes back to our earlier conversation about works. Works are very important. If I believe, I do. James 1:22. Be not hearers of the word only, but doers, deceiving your own selves. Okay? So the way I take, a lot of times people say, well, Romans 12, it just says renew my mind. Well, yeah. Because that's the thing that they get remade. Your mind. So God says, now take the time to redo your whole mind and walk in what you're putting in your mind, and that will fix the heart. I gave you a new one, you've already contaminated it. That will purify it through your obedience. Okay? So, curses are something we have to deal with. Okay? Either we brought them in, but by the grace of God, which, by the way, is not unmerited favor. The grace of God is defined in 2 Corinthians 12:9 as the power of Christ being applied to our life. Grace is the power of Christ being applied to our life. Okay? And I can grow in grace. If I start off with mustard seed size grace, I can end up having the Empire State size grace. I can grow in grace through doing those things that please God. When I self-sacrifice myself to help others, when I do all the things we know Christ did, I grow in grace, which means I'm growing in power. Okay? When you read Luke 9:1, it says Jesus gave his disciples two things: authority and power. It's very important. Many Christians assume when I'm born again I get both. Well, to agree, you have some power, because of course it took grace, so of course there's some grace there. It's just not a whole lot. You need a little bit more. But you do have authority. Are you with me? See, let's take a physical example. If you've had a job, I remember I had a job at IBM, and my employees would come and ask for permission to do such a thing. Well, for the most part, since I didn't control the budget, unless it took away from their work, I said, sure, go ahead and do that. Because I had the authority to do that. If someone wanted to come and say, I want to transfer divisions, well, I had to go ask. I had no authority to just transfer somebody to another division. Okay? You with me? If I'm in Christ, I have authority. Okay? I have authority. I have the right to do things of God. I have the right to do things of God. Are you with me? Certain things, however, devils, need a little bit more authority. They need power. Are you with me? They need power. We grow in power as we grow in grace. We grow in grace as we walk in righteousness. That's why that certain Christians, it appears they had the ability to cast out devils, and then other Christians, it appears that they can't, that the devils laugh at them. They haven't grown in grace. They haven't grown in the power of Christ. Okay? So a curse doesn't need power. A curse needs authority. Now, we got to get it. Go to Psalm 109. I want to show you what I said is a true statement, but it's not a full solution. You'll see in a second. In Psalm 109, David is lamenting against his enemies and so forth. And here's what he asked God to do in verse 6. Set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand. Down in verse 17. As he loved cursing, let it come unto him, as he delighteth not in blessing, so let it be far from him. As he clothed himself with cursing, like as with his garment, so let it come into his bowels like water, and like oil into his bones. Let it be unto him as a garment which covereth him, and for a girdle wherewith he is girded continually. Curses are a man, that is a devil, assigned to you. Okay? And as you read, it's in your bowels. It's in your body. Okay? Curses are a devil with a specific assignment, whatever the curse is, that's his assignment. That's also his name. Okay? And God assigned him to you. Are you with me? Who assigned him? No. God assigned him to you. Okay? Very important. Okay? I see some quizzical looks. Who was David asking? Was David asking Satan to assign it? No. David was asking God to assign a curse. Okay? In other words, and God will do it if what? There's a cause. If you have broken any of his word that says if you do this, well then, you will get a reward. Alright? So a curse is actually the devil. And whatever the curse is, that's the devil's name, which is his assignment. That's all he does, that particular curse. So for instance, we've seen a rash of breast cancer, for instance. That's a curse. There's a specific cause, sin, that causes the curse of breast cancer. It's not a natural phenomenon. No. Sin brought it in the story. Now, let's understand something. Can you make yourself sick naturally? Sure. Go eat some poison. Sure. Of course you can. You can make yourself sick naturally, but you got to work at that. You got to work to make yourself sick naturally. You know, hey, don't go in that room. It's quarantine. Sickle cell pores are. I'm going in anyway. Okay. Sure, you can make yourself sick naturally. Right? You can certainly make yourself sick by. The body was built to do many, many things, but over time, if you don't take care of it, well, you're gonna pay the reward for not taking care of it. Right? Amazingly, we're all men, we all drive cars. What happens if you never change the oil in your car? What are you asking for? A blown head gasket. Right? Because you didn't do it. Normal maintenance. Are you with me?
Come on now.
Marcus, you said to change your timing belt. I said, oh man, you don't need to change your timing belt. I've had cars for 25 years. I didn't change the timing belt. I'm probably lucky. And I use the word lucky. It really doesn't apply to Christians. Lucky, there's no such thing as luck for a Christian. Okay? God bless me with that. Even though I abused the recommendation of timing belt, it never really got me. And you did the smart thing to actually change your time belt. Right? Maintenance. So we can look at all this physical stuff and say maintenance is needed. But we can come to ourselves, do no maintenance, and think, I'm fine. Okay. I don't know how that logic works, but okay. You with me? We've got to, of course, so that's a natural part. I'm not saying you can't make yourself sick naturally. Of course you can. More often than not, if a Christian is sick, sin's behind it. Right? So you can be sick naturally. God can assign sickness to you to teach you, show you something about yourself and keep you in check. Okay. So let's throw those out. Okay. Beyond that, because those aren't as the ones that we need to deal with are the ones we're causing. There's a sin. Sickness should be a sign something's wrong spiritually. Which means if sickness is a sign